Hi, and welcome to this edition of Brave Briefings, where brave men and women share their stories and tips on fighting harassment, toxic masculinity, gender based, and sexual based violence. Are you brave?
Me,
Hi.
I'm brave.
Great. Hi, I'm Lois, your friend for forgiveness from Walking Without Skin. And I have, as she's just said, a brave woman with me today. And I would love to welcome Celeste Low to the show. Hi, Celeste.
Hi, Lois.
How are you doing?
It's great to be here today, and I love to chat to you. So it's an
Thank-
awesome day.
I'm, I'm really grateful that you are here. So please tell me, before we go on, you want to talk about the letter E of brave, but before
Yes.
we go on, what makes you brave? Why? Who are you?
Yes. Well, I'm Celeste, and I'm a survivor, and I'm a mother, and I'm a biker, and I'm a healing guide. And I think I'm multidimensional, and I say that's why we say we're a diamond, right? Because we're multifaceted people. And that's what my life has become. So I do a lot of healing work. I run an organization called Optimistic Bikers Against Abuse, and we deal with trauma and the fallout from trauma. But more than that, I think being, bringing in the brave is that one day I realized that I did have something to say, because for so much of my life, I didn't have a voice. And my journey has taken me to a place where I have a voice, and I have a loud voice, and I can say what I want to say. So I can say that it's really hard to get through your life without being connected to people and to be comfortable in your own skin. So for me, brave is being comfortable in your own skin, being able to stand in your own truth and still be part of the world, not have to, hide away. So that's how I see myself.
Well, that definitely is brave, and brave in what you do with the optimistic bikers. Just tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about optimistic bikers.
Well, we have a three-pronged strategy, so it's all very fancy. So we have education on the one side, where we educate people around issues around, I want to say, abuse and violence and trauma. And I'm just going to leave the gender right out of there. And then we also do crisis management. So we work with people who've been abused and traumatized and help them through their crisis into a healing journey. And then the last thing that we do is we network with other organizations and work on a legislative level. And I think it's really important that to say that we work from a human rights perspective. And we believe that all people are human and nobody should be abused. And so it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, it doesn't matter where you come from, you shouldn't be being abused. And that is the core of what we need to focus on and not get distracted by other issues. So we run programs and we have all sorts of courses, and we run online campaigns. And right now we're running a campaign that's called Healing Meets Self-Defense, which is quite fun.
Fabulous. Okay. We can learn more about that later. But that brings us naturally to the E of brave. For
Yes.
those of you seeing this for the first time, the acronym BRAVE is boundaries, respect, agreement, values and vulnerability, and equality, empathy, and empowerment. And Celeste wants to talk to us about the E of brave.
Because those are like the core of who I am, right? So I think that the one thing I've always said from the beginning is that we need to do empowerment, not enslavement. And that no matter whether we agree with people or not, we have to let them come into their own as human beings by empowering them to be the best that they can be, which might not agree with the best of what we think they should be, right? So empowerment for me is a word that's often misused, in the sense that we want to tell people how to be empowered, and that's not being empowered. So we have to let people stand in their own empowerment. And to do that, we have to have empathy. And, I think for us as an organization, that's the main thing. So one of our catchphrases is, we're here to empower, not enslave. And I thought that would be a great way to use your E to say, before you talk to someone or give them advice or ask anything, remember that you are in the business of empowerment and not enslavement.
I love that. But what can we do to empower them? You know, how can we actually empower those people?
I think the main thing, what I find in just like general conversations with people, if you're in the street with just talking to someone in a shopping queue, whatever, is if a person asks you advice, you can give them options and not tell them what to do. Because I think that's the problem. You know, we're going, well, this is the right thing to do. And this is the little box that you should be in. And what I like to do is I like to say, well, have you thought about it this way and this way and that? And whatever choice they make, then you encourage them to make that choice. And it might be the wrong choice and they might fall down. They might. But then again, falling down, we learn from that. So you can't make the road flat for people. You have to empower them to stand in their own truth and their own resilience and learn their lessons and grow into who they're supposed to be. Because if you take all the lessons out of life, then what are you going to have? Because that's how we become strong. So I think it's very important that we encourage people to know what their options are rather than telling them what they should be doing.
I love that. My only concern is that why do we have to have such terrible lessons in life? Why do we
Yes.
have to have all this sexual trauma?
Mm. I think the thing is that it's always been there, right? I think there's a lot of focus on it now. And so we're all going, but it's got worse and all that. And sometimes I ask myself, has it? Because if you look through history, does it really look like it's got worse? I think what's happened is it's become more spoken about. And the problems that we're having have their roots way, way, way back. For us to change that, we have to change how people are. And so that's why I talk about connected humanity a lot. If we look at people as human first, maybe we'll behave differently towards them. And that's how we can get away from things like patriarchy and the need to have power over someone. And if there's no other way, sexually. So I think we've got deep, deep seated, deep rooted problems that need to be addressed in a different way, because we've tried all these other ways and they don't work. So why not try something new? Why don't we just stop talking about things in a way that is the way that we always have? Like, it's always this, like, we've got to fight it, right? We've got to go out there and we've got to conquer it and we've got to eradicate it. But maybe what we need to do is stop and ask ourselves, well, how deep rooted is this actually? And how do we change that? And can we change it by teaching people just basic humanity?
By teaching them to be brave.
Yes. By teaching people that, you know, like, how would you like it if that someone did that to you, type of thing, which is what we learned when we were very young. But I think it isn't a thing that people really think about, is that, you know, I'm hurting somebody else. I think we have got ourselves into a situation where we are a generation who are entitled and who want a quick fix and all of those kind of things. And there isn't a quick solution. The solution is long-term empowerment and long-term connected humanity.
Well, we're starting right here, and you always you always come up with some lovely insights. So I love chatting
Thank
to
you.
you, Celeste,
Thank you.
and I'm very impressed with what you're doing with Optimistic Bikers and your what was it, the self-defense? What did you call it?
Yes, healing meets self-defense. And then we're also running the healing courses, the Optimize Your Journey courses,
They sound fantastic.
building tribes.
So you'll be able to reach Celeste. We'll put her link below and you can find out more about this fascinating work that she does, and she can help you on your healing journey. And
Yes.
guys, please be bold, be brave,
Mm.
fly free.
That's awesome. I think it's such a great initiative, Lois, and I hope it reaches tons of people, because we really do need people to be brave.
Thank you, Celeste. Thank you for being with us today. And
Pleasure.
you join us for another edition of Brave Briefings.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.